So today is the 12th of November. I'm looking for some trade opportunities here. The market is long. I'm very careful because of my experience from the last days. I want to be careful and I want to be checking out things. The market is long. I would set a marker here for a potential or check out what the market actually does here. And then as well, since I'm long, I check if the market breaks out here, and then if it really breaks out and comes back, and then challenging the reversal. Okay, that's, I guess, as a trade idea for the moment. My learnings from the last times are about being patient. So what I'm expecting here, there, and then want to trade that one back, or it might go down here and then bounce. And that's would be the level where I would go for a short, or the market goes up here, breaks that level, and then goes up, and then I would be somewhere inclined to trade long there. Okay, so I'm gonna switch on the recording again once it's clear what's happening in the market, once the market tells us what is intending to do. So the market is now getting to the lower boundary of the range here. And we're gonna have to check if it makes its way back into that range. What did I do now? Excuse me, what was that? So I decided to place limit order at the boundary of that range here after I've seen buyers coming in. And I would actually go out of the trade in the middle of the range.
Order cancelled.
Whereas the end of the range should be safe as well, because that one is we are in a pretty good long context, but you know, better a bit safer today. Yeah, one of the learnings from the last trading days were greediness. So better be happy with a little profit rather than always hunting for the big things. So we're now in the pocket of the day. Will it be able to pass that, or what does the market do? Lots of buyers coming in, so it should be working out, but it's just taking so much time. Naja, better closing
Order
that one
cancelled.
with 4 ticks in plus, and be happy with that one rather than later on complaining, because it's not a given that it could be a rejection from that range as well, because there's quite some volume coming in of buyers, but somehow they get absorbed. So I didn't want to risk anything. One trade, 4 ticks. That's the start of this magnificent trading day. So the market should open soon, about 2 minutes. You see here a very interesting thing. There's a lot of volume here. Look at this big volume. So this is for sure something to watch for the future in case the market goes back to that area. Into whatever direction the market goes now, that's going to be for sure an interesting area for the future. Now we wait for the market to open, and then let's see where it goes, either coming down here, reversing, or going up there, and all those options we talked about before. So let's see what the market does during the opening. So that is a time where I don't trade. That's not the opening. Usually there's a bit more of hectic moves. Gonna switch on again once the market knows what it does. So I'm back at my desk. Now looks a bit uncertain what the market is doing here. So the market went crossed like we said before, crossed that part here, and then it went up, bounced back. But it is kind of not a clear direction yet. So there were some huge buy deltas here, and on this here, that's a massive delta of 3K, or even the range here was even 4K. So let's see what happens when the market comes back to that one here, because that's where the huge delta happened. If there's an absorption happening again, then we might want to look out for a short. And the absorption happened exactly at this price here, 6882. Gonna wait until it's back there. Now the market is at that level where this big absorption happened last time. Now we wait for sellers kicking in, active sellers kick in, not passive sellers, or if they break through. So the market breaks through that level. Which from a market structure perspective now, it is kind of changing. We were a little bit in a short price action. This one here, a little bit in a short price action. And now we kind of here are at the same level. So let's see if it creates a new lower low, a higher low, and then goes further. Let's see when that one happens. But at the moment it looks like it creates a higher high and then it needs to create a lower high and then we can step in probably on that level here.
Order placed.
So if the market passes that level now here,
Stop filled. Order placed.
then we would go with that one. So we're in a trade now. The potential would be that huge
Order cancelled.
volume up here. And let's see if the market can really follow through. The red line here, that was the closure of the market on the 15 minutes chart we saw before closure. They closed for a couple of bars on the 15 minutes. So buyers would be nice if you can keep pushing it up. Or is that former support line now the resistance? That might be as well, because the market looks like it is turning down. We set our stop loss exactly below the last low. So if the price action is
Stop
breaking
filled.
again, then okay, and it broke again. So that was the second trade, minus 20 ticks. It was meant to be long in the direction of the price action of which changed in the very short-term eyes, but it doesn't look like it was like that. So, but it would not be surprising if the market now goes up and was just trying to find the people which were putting their stop loss here, which I was one of them. So that doesn't look like a situation we want to trade in as like not a lot of liquidity in that area. So it looks like I'm gonna finish trading for today. It's just 2 trades. Overall minus 16 ticks. And it's always in the week of the CPI data that the first 3 days are not very active. But what I could trade here eventually, maybe, that's just a little trading of ranges. So I guess I'm gonna do one more trade, and this time I'm gonna listen to somebody once told, so I heard that place your order where others would place their stop loss, like here.
Order placed.
So before you place an order, you check where would you place your stop loss, and then smash yourself against something hard and place your order there where you would place your stop loss. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I placed it here right underneath that wick, and that's where I'm gonna buy. Let's see if this old wisdom gonna make a difference.
Order filled. Order placed.
So that order has been taken now, which I placed at a place where I normally would place my stop loss. And if it helped, I don't know. It doesn't look like it at the moment because the market seems to move lower. And I did not reconfirm, or I did not enter that trade with waiting for the buyers to arrive, the aggressive buyers to arrive. So it might well be that the market is just pushing through and going even lower, which currently does. And there's my stop loss again.
Stop filled.
so that the market dynamics change now. This is now short term and then short price action or long price action. Or is this one of those areas where stop fishing happens? Active buyers are coming in. But you can see lots of liquidity here as well. So three trades, minus 33, minus 36 ticks, where the third trade was a more speculative trades to go with the price action, which I was reading as being long. And I was intending to open a trade, but then I remembered somebody once said you want to place your order where other people place their stop loss. And what I did, but I'm not sure if he said that I should place my stop loss, I should place my order then in the opposite of my trade, and then at the place where other people place their stop loss, because if I would have placed it there, then it would go now into my direction. So now we have a lot of buyers there. But even though there are a lot of buyers, there's not a lot of movement. It's a huge absorption there. Passive sellers are keeping that huge amount of buyers here, keeping them under control. They're not getting what they want. Somebody, now it looks like the market trying to move up. But there are active sellers now. They are here. Look at that. No, I'm not trading in the middle of a candle, and I'm not trading on a candle which has such a high of negative delta. I'm not trading long on that. It's just a huge absorption area. And it is the perfect D shape here of the day. That's the lower part of the high volume, and it might want to break out. But then we're gonna trade the reversal. Huge volume being traded there on those two candles. One of them was positive delta, the other one was negative delta. Somebody's loading up there. My tendency is more that goes back into the range, but that's more not based on that's just an assumption, just a feeling. Such a lot of liquidity here. It's a 9:20 in Chicago, and this is such a slow market. Wow. So to me, it looks like the market is trying to break out on the upside. Even the price action would more speak for short, not for long. If you look at that part here, that we have a new lower low, or we just wait until it's clear. So patience here, patience again, patience again. If we look at the price action here, down, then lower high, lower low, a bit of here, then here, lower low. Or we could see here, there, and here, and there. So everything seems to be possible here. It is cumbersome. Yep, minus 36 ticks. I guess I'm gonna close my trading for today because that's not really, there's no movement here. And for that one, enjoy the rest of your trading day. Oh, that was a missed recording. I was talking here into my microphone and that trade just got missed in my recording. So I had another trade and that one now successfully closed. That trade was a short and it closed in its 54 ticks in plus. I'm closer at the next location, which I marked. And with that one on the day, we are at minus 17 ticks for the day with 7 trades. Let me check those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, with 7 trades. We closed the day with minus 70 ticks, 17 ticks, and I guess that's something which I indeed will close that day with. So thank you very much for your patience, dear recording machine. So I have my recording from for my trading journal, and I can then review it accordingly.